Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of All Night Long with the Fox. This is, of course, your host, the Fox, for about the next, 20 minutes, half an hour or so. See how long everybody can put up with me, as well as how long our guests can handle me. The show is syndicated on Radio Dentata, as well as can be listened to up on our YouTube channel. As www.youtube.com/nightmovesstudio. We are also proud of the studio that we've been building. It's at a bit of a standstill now, but that's okay. It is www.nightmoveswiththefoxstudio.com, where you can visit archive shows as well as visit our country visitor flag map. Very interesting for us, and I'm pretty proud of it. We got about 31 country flags. People visited the site, and they can post their flag there. So we're very impressed to be able to have it available to the viewers as well. On the show tonight, I was just talking with our guest. I have a very good memory, but sadly it's a little bit short. This guest tonight is a very, very multi-talented woman from the States. I'm just going to introduce her name and let her come on and rattle off her many, many, many titles and talent that she's got to her name. Brandy Valentine, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Fox. How many titles? Let's see. Well, you guys know my name, Brandy Valentine. I'm a burlesque performer with Burlesque. I'm also a model, a go-go dancer, and a traveling gypsy at times. So that's my little titles so far.
Now, when you title yourself at the end as a traveling gypsy, does that just mean because of your multi-leveled careers, it makes you become a traveling gypsy? You can't afford to stay in one spot too long because you've got another show to perform?
Well, I would say that's part of the reason, but I really don't like staying in one place, to be honest with you. I really like to travel. Charleston's actually the longest I've been in my adult time. So I have to say that I'm very privileged to be able to go ahead and travel throughout the States and Europe.
I've got another kind of a twisted, involved question, and I hope it's not too twisted and involved for you or the listeners. When you combine burlesque performer and go-go dancing, are they in a funny sort of a sense similar, or is there a very fine line to separate the two classifications?
Those two would be separate. Burlesque is very sensual. It's the art of tease. Go-go dancing, I mean, really, there's no breaks. It's really dancing your butt off. It could be like a couple hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, just maybe an hour or so, but it's continuous dancing nonstop, you know?
Now, which one did you get involved with first?
It would be modeling first, burlesque second, and then go-go dancing.
Now, every little girl, I guess maybe some guys too, but I'll stick with the girls for now because I'm talking to a lady. Every little girl wants to be a model, and most every little girl wants to become a dancer of some sort. Some of them actresses too, but mostly modeling and dancing. Is that what got you involved in each of these talents?
I would say so. Modeling is my art of expression through, film, and burlesque is where, I could have a stage out there and people actually watching the art form of whatever I'm doing with the song, If it's not with a band, it's with a song just, that you listen to a radio. So
How did you get involved in burlesque?
uh, I won't say it's by accident. I say it happened in fate. I actually was involved in a group at one particular time, and I joined that group and started to do burlesque. After that, like after a year or so, we did our separate ways, and then, I became to do burlesque kind of solo per se. However, I do occasionally go to a troupe, a real great troupe in North Carolina over in Greensboro called Burlesque, and I guess perform over there as well as other places, um, you know, to do my art of tease per se.
And how did you fall into go-go dancing?
Go-go dancing is when I actually was in a group. Prior, there were some gigs that the bands would need to have like dancers, and since I do have a little, dance and I know how to dance,
Most
so
girls do, I guess.
yeah, yes, if you could do two-step, then you can dance. However, I can dance continuously without non-stopping, and be able to move with the band or with the song. So I got into that really quick.
Now, are you to the point, or have you been there for a while, maybe, where do you have to seek out work as a dancer, burlesque, go-go, or even modeling, or is it to the point where you're in demand, that you are having a hard time keeping up to people requesting you?
I would say a little bit of both. Um, I mean, I do work a regular job, actually quite a few jobs, as well as go-go dance and burlesque. However, I would say that it kind of falls on my lap. People will ask me, and if my schedule's open, I'll just do it, and that's how it usually works. Uh, with the go-go dancing, it's just about the same. It just falls on my lap, and I just
Wow.
go from there.
Does your
It,
does your regular job is it somewhat in line with the rest of your stuff that you do, the modeling, the burlesque, and the go-go dancing, or is this something totally away from it, and you have got your regular job, your, I guess if you
right.
want to call it off-stage life, and then you've got your commercial life?
Right. I have two separate identities. I
How
work
do
in
you do it?
telecommunications. Yeah, and then I work in a vintage store. That helps with my burlesque,
Wow.
with the outfits and stuff, and then I go from there. Whatever fits after that, it fits. It fits. I just make it fit, or it just happens to fit.
How many hours a day would you say on average you work?
Average, let's see, 40 hours on my regular job. I may put in, let's say, the other job will probably be just probably, I say 12 hours. And then the burlesque and go-go dancing, it could vary. I mean, it's not something, sometimes it's almost every weekend or every other weekend. Sometimes it's, we do get I feel like I need to get a break, so I'll pause on burlesque or go-go dancing for a month, and then after that, my month is over, and then
Now,
continue going.
as far as your careers, modeling, burlesque, go-go dancing, in over time up until now, have they gotten busier for you, or has it been somewhat the same all along, or do you see a time, if you wanted to, do you see a time in the not too distant future where you'd be modeling and performing as a go-go dancer, and that's all that you'd have to do?
At this present time, uh, to pay the bills, I have to still stay with what I'm doing. However, I mean, the modeling and the burlesque right now is really busy. I'm very thankful for, the group for including me as their guest performer because they keep me busy. And with their connections, I'm able to go into other events to go dance or whatnot. So I'm very privileged in that aspect, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. What's the next big event for you? What's the next big project that you've got on your plate?
Well, this weekend was a big project for me, which was traveling from, Charleston, South Carolina to New York and then New Jersey. And then this morning, actually I was um, took pictures to be sculptured, which will be made out as a sculpture for an important client over in New York. So that was a real big project for me.
Wow.
And yeah, so and then working with a photographer, Stephanie St. James, and then Paper Doll next month. So photography. So I'm very privileged, like I said, with the connections that I have.
No kidding. You've got a busy, busy life, and that sculpture is, I find that truly interesting and really, really amazing. I've never heard of somebody doing that before. I guess it happens all the time. I'm just not used to it.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, I've heard of people, but I've never, this was actually, like something that fell on my lap. Someone needed someone tall and slender. Can you do this? And I absolutely agreed, and I took off an extra day so I can be able to do it today. And I just got back a few hours ago, and I'm exhausted, but
No kidding.
I'm very still excited because he's like, I'll be finished in 2 months, and he wants to do a sculpture on my head. I was like, oh, okay.
Wow. Do you every once in a while have to pinch yourself or wake yourself up and realize that everything that's going on is actually happening, it's real?
No, sometimes I really don't. I don't. Sometimes I don't realize what's like right in front of you until I take a minute and everything's quiet, and I'm like, okay, something's not right. So
Wow.
yeah, I sometimes don't realize how busy I am until I actually have a moment.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment now, and can you tell all the listeners where they can find you online?
Sure. Actually, you can go to my website at brandyvalentine.com. You can also go to Facebook, facebook.com/Miss Brandy Valentine. And then you can go to Model Mayhem / Brandy Val, BrandyVal, to find me. If you want to know what's going on or what events. You can also go to burlesque.com, and that's PURRRLESQUE.com. That's also another place where you can know what other events that's going on.
Excellent. Thank you ever so much, Brandy, for taking time out for the show tonight.
Oh, no, thank you for having me, Fox. I
I
appreciate
wish
it.
you all the best of luck in everything that you got going on, and keep in touch and let us know how it's all going on.
I will. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Good night,